I really hope actually that in the next 10 years we're going to use AI not just to automatize things, so to make them, let's say, faster, but also to bring them to the next level in terms of quality, in terms of possibility. We're a younger company, but on the other side, this helps us get to know very well each customer and stay close to them. I think for startup scale-ups, you really need someone super flexible in adapting also to different tasks because the roadmap is very dynamic.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Devico Breakfast Bar. Here we speak with different people involved in the business landscape, share their expertise, delve into the latest tech trends, and explore the ins and outs of IT outsourcing. I'm Oleg Sadikov, and today I'm excited to have Aurora Maggio, CEO and co-founder at Zefi.ai. Don't forget to subscribe and hit notification bell so you don't miss new episodes. Hi Aurora, and thanks for joining me today.
Hi Oleg, thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's start our podcast with a little blitz. I start a sentence and you continue, okay?
Okay.
Entrepreneurship gave me
a lot of energy, a lot of sleepless nights.
Entrepreneurship deprives me
from getting annoyed or I have no boring moments.
My main superpower is
fixing errors and mistakes I make.
My main weakness is
sometimes saying yes to too many things together and not prioritizing more efficiently.
And the last one, when I'm afraid,
I try to divide problems in smaller pieces and to solve each one of the smaller.
As boss, founder, and CEO, what does your typical day look like, and how do you balance strategic planning and day-to-day operations?
So I try to wake up before the stand-up. We usually, to be operative before the stand-up, usually have our stand-ups at 9, but I like to be prepared in order to not only know my priorities, but also have visibility on all the work that the team did the day before so that I can try to help on also their schedule and try to connect the different departments. We're not a lot, but there is a lot of complexity in building technology products, as you know. So I try not to have silos inside the company.
What inspired you to co-found Zefi, and how does it create value from the voice of customers?
Zefi aggregates the voice of customers from different sources and structures and structured data. So a big part of the value is already in all the data pipeline and creating this source of truth. The second part is about all the analytics on top of it to discovering actionable insights so that the company can really prioritize based on customer needs.
What are some of unique challenges you face building AI-driven software, and how do you and your team approach these challenges?
Nowadays, everyone is building super fast. So, of course, there is a lot of competition and we need to meet the standards that are pretty high in the market, even if we're a startup and we're solving a real world problem. On the other side, we need also to sometimes take the time to make things scalable so that we don't create too much tech debt. So balancing, let's say, going fast, acquiring customers, and also make them happy, give them a quality product. We really try to listen to their voice also by in our own company. Of course, we're a younger company, but on the other side, this helps us get to know very well each customer and stay close to them, so that we know what are the most important things we can focus more attention on, invest time on.
With the rapid evolution of AI, what skills or traits do you believe are the most critical for leaders in the AI and software development space?
On one side, AI is unlocking a lot of possibilities, so it's exciting and makes everything faster, both from development and operations, whatever. On the other side, we really need to think to defensibility, like creating valuable products in the long term, because of course it's shifting a lot of paradigms.
Looking back, is there anything you would have done differently in your journey as a CEO and co-founder?
A lot of stuff.
if you had a chance to change things.
Yeah, like plenty of stuff. We are learning so much. We had previous experience, but what we learned is, for example, each experience is different. So even if you have, let's say, another experience in a startup, you still need to test and do trial and error and iterate super fast. So first thing will be start testing the product earlier, because we did a lot of discovery at the beginning. was super useful, but having feedback from real customers is completely different, just interviewing before having the product. Another thing that I hope can be useful to who is listening is also taking decision even without having all the data, because if you wait to have all the data possible, and it's also about intuition and mixing the two and to find something that is working and then push on it.
What do you mean by your potential customers? You mean you are arranging interviews with them, and how does it work?
So before having a live product, so when we just had an MVP, we were testing a few things, different technologies. We were, let's say, interviewing people that we thought were our ICP. But of course, on one side, you need to know who is your target. But on the other side, entering in companies and let them use your product is the best way to define your ICP, because it really is using it more. So it's asking you more things that is a good thing because they are interested into it. So before, we were looking for people in the product space, also product ops, and interviewing them, trying to be unbiased as possible, showing them some Figma, letting them test the MVP. But then once we started closing contracts, having real customers, there the interest, their commitment, effort, and feedback is completely different.
What trends in AI and digital experience are you most excited about?
There is this possibility that is enhancing both, having customization and flexibility. Because if, for example, especially in product development, having to choose in between scalability and let's say saying yes to your customers was quite a big deal. Like product manager were always obsessed in finding something that was scalable, that was making not creating customizable projects, but a real product. And nowadays, I think there are some technologies that are allowing us to do both, like creating products that really can shape themselves around each specific customer need. And I think this is exciting.
What do you believe the next decade will look like for AI in terms of technological breakthrough?
This is an hard one because it's going so fast on one side, and on the other side, you always want, at least me, I'm always wondering what can happen next. Everything happened already, but
there's always spaces for something new.
Yeah, and I think I really hope actually that in the next 10 years, we're going to use AI not just to automatize things, so to make them, let's say, faster, but also to bring them to the next level in terms of quality, in terms of possibility with using these AI products. Basically, try to modify also the interface, not having just a conversational interface that more or less is a chatbot. So going a bit beyond the natural language processing and using this technology for something else.
With companies increasingly outsourcing AI and specialized software tasks, what advantages do you see for businesses in leveraging global talent?
I really like the fact that nowadays we are putting less focus on vertical skills. So as, for example, coding, but also designing, or many tasks are becoming not easier, but as we are going towards, no code, workflow automation, making it more accessible, I think the real talent is really more in the decision making, in creativity, finding a way, the right thing that really works, make it special. I think that if we really don't try to stop economy at minimum viable product, but we try to go beyond, this gives possibility to this talent to really have fulfilling positions, to express themselves at their best and just fill the task.
How do you approach hiring and talent development, especially in the high stakes industry like AI and software?
Yeah, for us, it's quite a challenge because we are a young startup. On one side, this is exciting. On the other side, there's a lot of work to do and also uncertainty about the future. So we have both, let's say, the excitement, the possibility of becoming a huge company and successful company. But on the other side, also the fact we really need to work towards that goal and everybody is fundamental to reach it. So we try to not choose talent in an objective way, but people that fit this kind of environment. We had also to iterate on this because some people are great for enterprises. I think for startup scale-ups, you really need someone super flexible in adapting also to different tasks because the roadmap is very dynamic.
Are there specific regions or countries that you find particularly promising for tech talent?
I think there is no geographical boundary for talent. Of course, it's easier to find in talents in bigger pools for statistical reasons. But on the other side, it's also where the biggest companies are looking for. No, I will say that it could come from everywhere. I came from a very small city in the south of Italy, so I really hope it's not a geographical thing.
How do you see the role of IT outsourcing evolving in the tech industry, especially with advancements in automation and AI?
is becoming considered a lot more about problem solving and soft skills than just vertical knowledge, but it's going to stay fundamental, especially because the role of technology in each product is becoming critical.
As we wrap up our conversation, what advice would you give to companies considering IT outsourcing but concerned about losing control over their technology projects?
There is always, let's say, trade-offs to do in between scalability and also time that requires to do hiring. I think that communication is the only important thing, not to lose control. And you don't really need control if you know how everything works, you are designing it together. So I think it's basically like working with a remote team and the speed to which you go. And also it's more about awareness that you have on your product. It depends more on communication than on physical distance.
Aurora, thank you very much for your answers, for your participation. I really enjoyed our conversation and do believe that my auditor will find it very useful.
Thanks, Oleg.
If you enjoy our discussion and want to stay updated on future episodes, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you will not miss out on the latest insights and conversations from the Devico Breakfast Bar. See you in the next episode.